right, we are going to do a couple of things today on this job site. You see a couple of pieces of equipment. We've got an up and coming object we're going to do here. Let's jump into this explanation. It is terribly windy today. Hopefully you guys don't have a lot of wind obstruction. We got two things going on here. These 4 stakes represent the outer extremities of a home that is going to be built here. We've got the 850J and the roller here. We're going to pull all this dirt off this backside. We're going to strip the topsoil, push it aside, and we're going to take the fill dirt and we're going to transfer it to the front side of this property and construct a pad for this home to be built on, opposed to stem walls and footers being poured to get the home to the proper elevation. This will be a slab home built like a monitor style pole barn, but it will be an actual stick framed home just in the shape of a monitor style. If you guys go to Google and look up monitor style, you'll completely understand what I'm talking about there. But we have roughly 4 foot of elevation to take out of this area and transfer it to this front side. That we've already talked to the customer about. We've already got approval. We already have an understanding. We've got some cones on the opposite side of the road that represent the outer extremities of the house. These 4 stakes will ultimately disappear. We've got 2 stakes on the back side of the property that represent the outer extremities of the home. And then we have 2 stakes here and there that represent the outer extremities of the home this way. So we have 2 ways of eyesight to ensure we can large enough. Now for the other thing that we're going to do, in order to get a construction permit on a brand new home, you have to have a septic permit. That's what I'm here to perform. I'm going to lay out the septic system. The health department is supposed to be here in about 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm going to set the laser up over here just off the edge of the roller, and I'm going to shoot all of this area here. We have 3 test holes that was performed last year. We have 1 test hole here. You can see where the ground has been disturbed and we've got loose dirt, if you will, on top that's been rained on. Over here we have another stake where a pit was you guys have seen the soil test that I have been involved in before. I wasn't here on this one. The homeowner hired the soil scientist. The report was given to me so that we could lay out the system and put the appropriate system together for the type of dirt that we have here. As you can see, this is another test site. Hello, puppers. How are you today? How are you? You're a good girl. Yeah. We got visitors. Oh, you licked your whole face. So we're going to get the laser out. These systems have to be laid on contour. I have to provide a drawing to the health department so that they can understand what type of system we're going to install, how we're going to install it, length, width, things like that. I will show you guys that drawing as well once I get it laid out. We've got a stick here, flag there, a stick 72 feet over there. Now that stick, and we'll walk to it in just a second, that stick and this stick, when I say on contour, I set the laser up to confirm that elevation where that stick is placed is the exact same elevation over here. The reason for that is these beds are supposed to run level from corner to corner. You guys remember that stick just a second ago, I just showed you. From this corner on the short direction going to that stake, that does not have to be level, but it can be no more than a 15-degree slope, which we have next to nothing here. There is some slope, but not much. So that's the top corners, that stick to this stick, and then we're 20 feet wide to this stick. Now obviously you guys can't see the stick through or the flag through there. But if you can draw an invisible line from that stake to that orange flag, that corner to that corner are the same elevation. So when you draw this rectangle out, which I will do now that I've got it all staked off, I've got it stepped off, I'm going to create a drawing, show you guys the rectangle and how everything's going to connect. Remember, the house is up there. It's going to feed a septic tank to then feed the Presby system, and then the Presby system would be installed at a certain depth between that flag, that stick, and then the stake on the other side of that brush. So let's go make a drawing. Well, here we are going to make this drawing. This is the packet that I have to fill out for the health department. You can see the county's not listed, but that'll be Perry County. This is where I put the actual drawing. That's pretty self-explanatory. And then we have to fill out each of these pages that gives the county sanitarian the proper information on what we are going to install and how we are going to install it. And obviously, you guys saw from earlier in the video, the sanitarian is to show up here shortly. I'm going to get this drawing taken care of, get all this paperwork filled out, go back to the job site and ensure that the sanitarian has everything that she needs and gives us a thumbs up of approval that we are good to go, and this customer can go pick up their permit. That permit then allows them to get their construction permit. That construction permit then allows them to start construction on their home. So let's get this drawing made. All right, to kind of bring everybody up to speed on what you just saw me draw, before we perform the drawing, we referred to our Presby manual, knowing that this is a Presby system. You can see there, we have to have 70 feet of pipe minimum per bedroom. And then we go off of our load rating, which is a 0.3, and then we go off of the bedroom count, which this home is 1, 2, 3 bedrooms with a master bath. So this is a 4-bedroom home. What that tells us is go to your chart, look for your load rating of 0.3, come over here to your bedroom count, gallons per day. Again, everything in our area is based off of bedroom count, so we need a filled bed that is 1,334 square feet. That is what the minimum requirement is going to be. And again, we have 70 feet of pipe per bedroom, so that is some pretty easy math to do here. And you do 70 times 4, we need 280 feet of pipe. Now, if we go over here to our drawing, we know what our requirements are. We know what the bedroom count is. If we go over to our drawing here, you can see I've got 280 feet of pipe. We're a little bit larger on the square footage than what we really need. We can probably take this down to 19 feet. But right now, here's how the layout is. You guys saw the 4 stakes for this home at the beginning of this video. We will install a septic tank. The minimum here is 10 feet. I'll show you later, I've got it 50 feet. This distance, it's just a guesstimation on pipe. For a 3-bedroom home, we only need a 1,250 gallon septic tank. However, for $200 more, you can get the extra 250 gallons of capacity. So we always recommend a 1,500 gallon tank. This homeowner is good with the extra $250. We do have to have a clean out within 3 feet of the home, which I have listed there. That is the inlet to the septic tank, and then the septic tank will gravity feed the filled bed with Schedule 35 pipe coming all the way down. Again, as mentioned earlier, we are 20 feet wide, 72 feet long. You might ask, where'd you come up with 72 feet? Well, we know for a fact that we need 70 feet of pipe per bedroom per the regulations, which gives me 70 foot of pipe length, and I need 4 of them to get to my 280 feet of pipe that is installed. So that ensures that I am 1 foot off the edge of the field bed on both sides, which again is a requirement. So the 72 feet is established by your pipe length. Always remember when you're installing these Presby systems, long and skinny is preferred over short and fat. Long and skinny is preferred over short and fat. The reason that we say that, these systems, soil scientists, sanitarians, everybody that's involved with these types of systems came to find out that long, skinny Presby systems work better than short, fat Presby systems. By no means am I saying that short, fat systems won't work, but long, skinny systems outperform short, fat systems every day. So with all that being said, we also have some other requirements. This is a pressurized water line that is going to feed the water into this house. We have to be 25 feet away from the septic system with this pressurized system. Again, that is a regulation here in our state and county. And we installed that water line. I'm sure you guys saw in Dirt Perfect's video where we installed 7,000 feet of water line. This is one of those water lines that we installed in, I want to say it was 2021. And again, any contours that you see here are going to change. On the video, you noticed I mentioned that we're going to be removing 4 feet of dirt from this backside and moving it this way, and then establishing this circle driveway, if you will, with 2 pipes being installed here and here. Now, to kind of give you guys a good side view of that field bed there, this isn't something that I typically do, but we're going to dig down a certain depth, and then the actual bed will have a slight bit of slope to it. If you remember, I said this is on contour across the entire 72 feet, and then at the bottom across the entire 72 feet, that's on contour. But this down here has a little bit of slope to it. So what this bed will virtually look like is, if I remember correctly, this one is 17 inches of dig depth down, which ensures we stay 30 inches above the limiting layer. So with that 17 inches down, we will then come in here and we will place 6 inches of, in our area, spec 23 sand. Spec 23. And then we will install the Presby pipes, which, let's see, those are 12, so it'll be 18. Will be just a slight bit above our 17-inch dig. And there'll be 4 of these. That ensures 4 70-foot-long pipes get us the total footage that we need. This pipe will be fed from this end, and then this pipe will feed this pipe, and then this pipe will feed that pipe, and that pipe will feed that pipe. So this one fills up with the influent first, and then it goes to this one and this one and this one. But before we can call this done, we have to put another 6 inches of sand. 4 is the minimum, but we always put 6. And this again is the spec 23. And then we have to put 6 inches of vegetation growing dirt. And virtually this is the layers of it, but as we build these layers up, this sand is under the earth. Part of these pipes, if not all of these pipes, well, I shouldn't say, there's going to be 1 inch sticking up above this horizontal plane here. So once we get to this part of the sand, that's where you'll start to get your slope, and then this 6 inches of dirt, you'll also end up with slope. So there's going to be a very minimal hump in the yard at this homeowner, where sometimes these pipes aren't 17 inches down. The minimum requirement in the earth is 4 inches. So you can imagine if you're 4 inches in the earth and you have 6 inches of sand, what that turns into is, if this is your 4 inches, you've got 6 inches, so now you're 2 inches above that. and then you have your 12-inch in diameter pipe. So now you're 14 inches above grade, if you will. And then you got to put another 6 inches of sand on top of that and another 6 inches of dirt on top of that. So virtually, if you only go 4 inches in, you're 2 plus 12. Yeah, now I'm running out of math in my head. Sorry. 2 plus 12 is 14, plus 6 is 20, plus another 6 is 26 inches out of the ground. So you've got this basically a 2-foot hump in your yard that we have to slope off if you don't have the proper depth where you can put most of the system in the ground. Whereas this system here, we can put most of the system, virtually all of it, 1 inch of pipe, 6 inches of sand, and 6 inches of dirt. It's the only thing that's going to be sticking up out of the ground here. But to move on, hopefully, oh, my pencil's in your way. Hopefully you guys understand that completely and how that lays out. Had the boots on the ground approach and now the drawing. And then the next step of this is to tell the health department what all is listed on my drawing. Those things are, as I mentioned earlier, the water supply, the septic tank, the clean out. These X's here do represent the test holes, and then which way is true north. Where is the actual perimeter drain? Everything is listed out on here. I just have to tell them it is. And as we come over here, you're going to see tank from the house 50 feet, tank from the water line 50 feet, schedule 40 pipe. It's going to be glued joints. We're putting in a new septic tank. It's 50 feet from the water supply. It's going to be a Rex vault. It's concrete, 1,500 gallons, single compartment. The boot is a Rex manufacturer. It comes with the tank. You do have a minimum on your riser diameter of 18 inches. We always go with the minimum. And then we also have an access opening, minimum of 18. That's what, it's 18 inches of rise and 18 inches of circle. Is there a child-proof plug? Yes. This comes, again, with the septic tank. It's a little concrete wedge with a piece of rebar hoop in the top of it that you can pick up and take out. So there will be a child-proof plug. Will there be an outlet? No. We do not put outlet filters on our Presby systems. The influent pipe, again, 50 feet because it's right up there by the house. Starting at the tank, 50 feet from the water supply. We are going to use Schedule 35. We will glue those joints. We do not have a distribution box, so I crossed that out. We do not have D-box to trenches, but we do have a Presby system. Separation from the water supply is roughly 150 feet. It's a 17-inch dig depth. The length is 72 feet. The width is 20 feet. Again, all this was on the drawing. The model or manufacturer is a Presby system. And then we have our subsurface drain. This is where we've got a subsurface diversion. It's a perimeter drain. You guys saw me on that dotted line that goes around the field bed. I'll explain the reasons for that in a minute. But we've got a 37-inch dig depth. Actually, that's supposed to be 47. Now that I'm talking to you guys about it, we have to be 30 inches below the bottom of our bed, and our bed is 17, so that's actually 47. And this needs to be changed to 47. It is a 4-inch diameter sock pipe, and we backfill it. This is the spec of the pipe, and that really doesn't matter. It will be wrapped in a fabric, and we will use, you can see there, NDOT Spec 23 sand. That's what we use in the field bed, and that's what we use to backfill the perimeter drain. And we will backfill that aggregate to final grade so that it comes all the way up to the top. There's not going to be any dirt on top of it. And we are required to put a rodent guard on there, and then the drain outlet just goes to daylight. If you guys remember from the drawing, let's go back over there. This is a cliff ledge. It's like a 35-foot drop. This is that perimeter drain. The purpose of that perimeter drain is any water, surface water, that comes towards this field bed. And I moved my hand around in that shape because that's kind of comes in from multiple directions, but it goes into this pipe, takes it around the bed. Even if the water comes in here, the pipe will be pitched this way, and then we'll actually come over here where we're off the drawing, but that cliff ledge turns, and we'll daylight it out to where all that water runs right off of that cliff ledge down into a natural drainage basin and gone. Well, hopefully that helps you guys understand how I lay out a field bed. All of the requirements come from the state. I get a spec sheet from the health department. It says, here's what your requirements are. I also have the Presby manual that I just showed you guys a little bit earlier, and the manual for state that says, here are your requirements, here's what Presby's required to be, and we accept those requirements. I put it all on paper. As you saw, I took grade on everything. The health department should be showing up here probably within the next 5 minutes. We'll see how this goes. Well, I tried to talk the health department into being on camera, and she was not all about that. So, long story short, we have approval. She likes the layout. She likes how everything fell into place within the test holes. I will state, it's not a requirement, but we try to hit 2 test holes within the field bed whenever we can. That ensures that we've got 2/3 of the dirt quality that we know is good for this field bed within the field bed. She did ask if we could squeak the bed. If this is the rectangle here, she's asking if we can rotate it just a little bit to get a little bit further away from the existing driveway. It's not that we have to, but if we can, she would prefer it. So we will do everything in our power to get that thing as far away from the driveway, the existing driveway that hasn't been built yet, from the field bed for her, because that is something that she would prefer. So hopefully this helps you guys understand Presby systems, how we lay them out, boots on the ground approach, come back to the office, lay it out, go back to the job site, meet with the health department. We have approval. The customer can get their permit. All is good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And as always, like, comment, subscribe.